Yep. Oh, he's won. Hello, and welcome back to another Overwatch VOD review. I'm Scorch24, and today we're going to be taking a look at some tank gameplay with our friend Talons Zero, or Talonso. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. Anyway, as you can see, a little bit different than the normal VODs I've been getting. This one comes from Reddit, from the Ginger Ninja, I believe. And it's actually going to be some Xbox console gameplay. So one of the things that I've noticed between console gameplay and PC gameplay is that console gameplay is a little bit slower, but that's just because the mechanics of controller versus mouse and keyboard. However, I'm sure we're still going to find similar quality matches here at high gold, low plat. So we're on Hanamura here. And make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video. I have some announcements on some events going on in our Discord server, with some chances to win some cool prizes. Alright, so here we have our man on the Reinhardt. We have Rein Zarya combo. Forgot to look at the DPS. Okay, so we have Ana Rein Zarya, the Baptiste. So this is a good support line too. It's a lot of healing, and your Baptiste should keep an eye out on the Ana as she's the most vulnerable person. But if you guys stay together, it should be okay. I don't know if we're gonna hear any comms in this. I know console it's like open mic all the time, so some people are just kind of put off by that. Alright, so they have Widow and Pharah. I still haven't seen your DPS. Sorry about this video quality. It's being streamed immediately from the Xbox, so not much we can do there. But I still wanted to bring out this content for you guys. Alright, so we have a Reaper who just killed the Widow. Awesome job. Right now I'm just kind of taking a look as we poke here at the choke. So shield management could use some work. I'll go into more details, and actually let's rewind this right now. So I see that you're duo queued with your Zarya. So I would hope at least that you have some communication with them as you're going through this fight. So I'll point out a little bit of work for the Zarya as well. Again, I apologize for kind of the pixely look. This was streamed directly from the player's Xbox. So, alright. So, you're taking a lot of unnecessary poke damage with your shield, so your shield's already at 300 HP. When you're engaging on Hanamura here, you want to really get up to this line at the choke and take the damage, allow your Zarya to get her bubbles off and build up her damage, and then use your shield when you need to back out, if you need to. So I don't know where your DPS are right now. I know that the Reaper just killed the Widow, but she did get revived, and we get kind of caught out there. So we're stuck at the choke here. I'm actually gonna hop into game here and explain a little. Okay, as we approach out of spawn, and let's say we have people here, like, it's okay to use your shield a little bit, but you just want to go directly here. What you did, you took a little bit too long of a route around. You went like over here trying to shield, I don't know, yourself. I didn't really see anybody behind you, because if your supports are playing smart, they're just going to stay behind here, and they can shoot healing at you here. The Reaper went up and took care of the Widow, and it wasn't like they were getting good shots off immediately, at least I don't think they were. And then you can start swinging here and like testing the waters, because eventually you're gonna have to move in here, and it might not be with a pick. So if you're like playing here and the two other tanks are right there and you can't get to the supports, but you're DPS are doing something up here, you might just want to communicate with your Zarya, like say, hey, hold your bubble, I'm going to move into this right room. And then as soon as that bubble goes up, you can either like charge into the right room, or you can just walk in a little bit using your shield to cover you when the bubble breaks. So that's kind of what you want to do here. You want to look for the opening, whether it's through this right room, straight to point, or to the left. Because if the enemy team is going to bundle up here, you could go through this right room and catch them on the other side. Or you can, well, I probably wouldn't recommend this way because that's just a lot of unnecessary damage you're going to take and you open up a lot of line of sight. So you just need to get a little bit creative, be a little bit more gutsy when it comes to pushing through chokes in general. Because then you're going to open up the space for your DPS who might be afraid of going in and getting picked by accident. Alright, so we have Widow and Reaper. It's an interesting combo. The Widow is bad because she keeps getting picked. Oh, and your Zarya is doing work right now. So great job. So we have an opening. Great job getting up there. Yep. You could have been swinging a little bit just to help out a little bit, and you could have charged into the grab. Your team might have had enough time to kill the hog, so you didn't like waste your charge, I guess. But nonetheless, you guys pull through because the enemy team just didn't bundle up at all. And yeah, good job. Just start swinging. This guy is alone, so like I think you're just holding up your shield a little too much. That you're not really getting the value that you could as Reinhardt. With the shield nerfs recently, the Reinhardt shield is like still the most powerful shield in the game, but his value comes from close range damage and brawly damage. So whenever a character like that is that close to you, even getting one swing off before putting your shield back up will allow you to build up your ult charge, allow your supports to build up their ult charge by healing you, and allow your shield to kind of regain some of its charge. Alright, so see, we're just kind of standing here not really doing anything of value when we need to be making space for our team. So if we go back to this engagement here, we're moving up with our, I think there's 5 of us here. The Widow's on the other side, looking for picks, which is exactly what she needs to be doing. And we see the enemy team, oh, especially with sights on. Hold on. I would have picked this out immediately. Okay, perfect. So, we see the Pharah's here. Your Ana and Baptiste should be able to shoot at her, or the Widow when she gets a cross sight into this room. We see that the Baptiste and the Roadhog are here on their own. So what we want to do is jump down to here and force them to either back off or fight us. And seeing as we are a brawly comp and they only have damage, projectile damage, our Zarya and Rein combo here should be able to take care of them. So this is a mistake on their part for positioning so far away from the rest of their team. Because I don't know who that is. I think that's their Widow. And then, of course, the Pharah is here, which she should die immediately. Zarya should focus her down quickly and then move on. So you're either going to focus these 2 guys down to die, or they're going to retreat back to point, which they will eventually die again. So that's what you want to do here, but instead you decide to kind of move this way towards the right side, which I don't agree with this only because they're out of position. And you're just holding your shield up and not really providing the value that you could have. Okay, so the Zarya is there. So I can kind of see why you maybe wanted to go that way, but if you had decided to go left, you would have had a lot more value. Okay, just need to work on the fire strikes a little bit. Okay, and we're kind of just dancing around at this point, and I think you noticed that. We're not getting anything. Yeah, so their team was out of position, and then you and your team ended up getting out of position and just too far apart. You didn't play together, which is what the Zarya Rein comp wants to do. Everyone should be playing together, and it's okay to have that Widow on the far flanks, but Reaper should not be off on his own. Okay, so they're wasting ultimates here. They've used Zarya ult, they've used Baptiste ult now. You're taking unnecessary damage here by protecting your immortality. I would have ignored it because it was just a bad immortality in the first place. And instead moved behind this like cover here. Yeah, great shatter. A little bit more coordination from your team would have been a lot better. But I think you're gonna pull it off here. If everybody gets on the point, you should be able to win. Again, sorry for the pixelated looks for anybody else watching. Okay, so we're a little confused on where to focus targeting. But you've got the right idea. Stay in your immortality. Oh, okay. That was a good aggressive. Your supports are good. Yeah, good block. Okay, so yeah, nothing really happened there. That was just cleanup. I guess something to keep in mind is that in most cases, people are going to be coming out the right side. If you're facing their spawn point, they're going to come out that right side corridor because it is the quickest. So just keep your focus there as Rein, and then get some swings in as you go. Okay, so we swapped over to Orisa. We have Mercy now instead of Ana, and we have Soldier, which I believe they swapped. That was the Widow. Oh, we have okay, so we're doing Orisa Sig. This is good. Oh, do you know the tech? I think you were looking for it, but I don't know if you were confident enough for it. Like just timing wise. Okay, so immediate combo, well, not combo, but one thing about Orisa, especially with her shield nerf, if you place down a shield and it gets destroyed immediately, you need to use Fortify. If you don't, you're gonna like get picked just like you did. Putting on your Fortify isn't enough though, because while it reduces the damage that you take, you still can die. So it's important to use your Fortify when your shield goes down, and then immediately go and find cover. So, for example, using this left side wall, you can hide behind this wall after you use Fortify, and you can take some poke damage and do some poking as well, but you want to wait until your shield comes back up. A side note, for your Sigma, I know he's like hoping to prevent any flankers from taking shots from this angle, but he should also be using his shield whenever your shield goes down. So his shield's up here right now, but he should be looking to replace it after yours dies until yours charges up, and you kind of just like leapfrog back and forth between whose shield is active. Yep. So here, your shield's down, you should have used Fortify, but we use it late. And we unfortunately force our immortality out. You know, props to your Mercy for getting that res. This is really scrappy, so I don't really understand what's going on. Yep, good use of pull. There's a Hanzo behind you, but I don't know if that was communicated. Okay. Another thing as Orisa, let's go in game because this is a little too choppy for my taste. Okay, so positioning as Orisa, you have this angle great. Like this is a really good spot. You don't want to be too close. You can, if you wanted to, start. You can start here if you can get the timing down with the shield and throwing it up there, and then fall back to this position with a new shield. So that's good. I know you got rezzed about here, so that's kind of a bad spot for you, but you are able to find some coverage over here. If instead of going out front here, and instead taking the right side and then putting up here, you will allow the enemy team to be contesting point, but you're contesting as well. So with your barrier here, you can take your shots as you need. You can provide support for your supports. And when that Hanzo tries to flank, you're already here to halt him into a death. And then this forces that, I think they're playing Roadhog and Zarya, which is a weird combo. You can force that duo to engage onto you, seeing as they won't be able to get past your shield. So yeah, if you had called for your team to just group up on the side of the point, you probably could have survived a little bit longer. So you are on that side, but you end up positioning way too far away. I think because you were trying to get away from the Hanzo, but that's where your supports were. Alright, so they end up taking point. We're gonna fast forward. Okay, I don't like this positioning for you either. And let me tell you why. Okay, this is actually just a lack of team coordination. As soon as you see them move on to a point like this, you should have jumped down. Because you don't even have a shield deployed for yourself. And that was a weird use of it there. This is very, very scrappy and scuffed. Hey, okay, so you have them in the corner right now, which is really good. But you don't have a barrier. Perfect, now you do. So now you position correctly. So just that... How do I explain this? So the fact that you had positioned at the top left early in the fight, it allowed the enemy team to engage into this spot. If they have ultimates, which they were able to cap point pretty fast, and you're only at 70% to your first ult, you can rest assured that they do have ultimates to use. If one of them decides to use their ultimate right now, you've already wasted a lot of cooldowns to get to this position. So you've kind of given up a lot of ground where perhaps you could have kept them at bay, back at their choke. And yeah, so the Baptiste is going to use his. Good job getting out of that line of sight. I'm not sure if you needed that barrier just yet, but I understand the reaction behind it. You gotta work on that barrier placement a little bit more, just because you're cornering yourself a little too tightly, where you want to be taking back space that you may have lost. But we're able to pull that one out and recover. Good stagger here onto the Baptiste. Let's fast forward. Okay, so now we're on point. We're positioned there, which is good, because it doesn't sound like your team really wants to go up top. Oh no, we're going up top. Oh no, there's a Roadhog there. Yeah, good use of your Fortify here. I would not have used the shield there. This hallway is already... so let's talk briefly about temporary walls and like real walls. Like, I forget who... There's a... Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Alright. So there's a guy named IOStux on YouTube. He's a Overwatch pro coach. And he does a great series on different things, mainly one being positioning. And he talks about this idea of temporary walls versus like real like coverage, and when to use it. I'll put the link below. Good job dancing around your barrier. Let's fast forward a bit. Hey, good job saying thank you to your healers. Okay, weird use of your ability there, but... So here's what I would have done here. So this is fine. Okay, that shield was just bad. I think you knew that though. You know, great job dealing with this Doomfist pretty much by yourself, seeing as no one's turning around to get him. But once you hear the first ultimate go out, I think your team should just start backing off and letting... Yeah, so as soon as that happened, you want to go back to point and try to regroup. Okay, so they ended up capping. Okay, so we're staying on Orisa for defense. Good pick on the hog. Someone's capping point. Okay, so they have a Sombra. Very pixelated. So here we're holding our cover really good. Just a slight note with barriers. No need to place down a new barrier on your cooldown. Instead, just wait until it either breaks or is like at 1. Like you could have waited a little bit. It's just like the small things that will get. You want to get like the full value out of your stuff, right? Hold on. So you heard a Reaper. There he is. Yeah, good job repositioning. You want to kind of limit the amount of space that Reaper can open up for the enemy team. So you guys are doing a lot better this time with like positioning overall. You know, you could hold up top with your soldier. I don't know if he's used his ultimate, so he's gonna have it, and you can use your ultimate with his, just to like put out a crap ton of damage. Oh, there's the Junkrat. Good job. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I just want to show again quickly. Defense positions on Hanamura first. Here, which you have down. Here. Alternatively, here. Hold on. Here.
Moving behind my barrier.
Here.
Please move behind the barrier.
And notice how my shield covers a majority of where we stand. Because some people like to do like, I don't know, like this. And now I open myself up to that window. So when you place your barriers and when you start to learn where to put them, make sure you learn the angles at which you can place them, so you provide like maximum coverage benefits. So they have to travel all the way over there or here to shoot us. We eliminate all of that from taking any damage. So those are the spots you want to get familiar with on Hanamura. So we're sticking with Orisa on the attack. Again, a really odd wide angle that opens up way too much line of sight for them to kill you. But you got a good pick onto that Junkrat. Weird use of that. You should be positioning a little bit closer. You don't have double shield here, so it will be difficult for you to poke through this choke. The Ana's in that right room. If you called that out, you might be able to pull hook her. But you end up doing it on the Sigma, which is great. Good job. You just keep getting pulled by this hog. Unfortunate. Position your... Yep, perfect. Ana's still to your right. Good job focusing her. Yeah, stay behind that thing. Great. And just like that, we win. Okay.
Just
So, just to reiterate, stay close to this wall as you move forward. Approach the choke immediately and get your picks, whether it's using Orisa's halt and Roadhog's hook combo, whether it's using Zarya bubbles to cover your Rein as you come in, or what's another combo? You can use Sigma and Orisa as well, or you can do dive with either Winston, Diva, or Ball. Just when you're approaching the choke, you want to limit yourself to the amount of damage you take. Then push through either using this corridor to the side, jumping onto this high ground if you are a dive, or going straight to point if the enemy team is moving back over in this direction. On defense, hold position here, hold position there, hold position there, or hold position there, and just communicate when shields are going down, when you need to reposition, and I think that's really all the big mistakes that I noticed. There's a couple other smaller things as you get higher into the ranks that you'll start to see only because the players that you're going up against are more skilled. So when you get to that level and you start to see new things happen, I encourage you to send back another gameplay because this was pretty good for the high gold range. All right. So with that, let's get on to some announcements for the Discord server. The Overwatch League Season 2020 is coming around the corner in just about 2 weeks, and I'm going to be starting up another Fantasy League. So if you're interested in participating, head over to our Discord channel. Each week, the person who has the highest points will get a custom emoji on the Discord server, and at the end of the 27 weeks of competition during the normal playoffs, not during the normal playoffs, the regular season, whoever has the first place, second place, and third place positions will have a chance to, actually will earn a $100, $50, and $25 Amazon gift card, respectively, of course. I'm not going to give first place $25 and third place $100. That would be real silly. So if you're interested, head on over to the Discord channel. Link is in the description below, and you can find more information on that. If you're interested in getting your own VOD reviewed, link is in the description below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, Reddit, or if you have just any general questions, feel free to slide into those DMs, but not in a creepy way, please. Alright, I'm Scorch24. We'll catch you next time.